Yes, Barney. I mean,
Yes.
On a more serious note, I was avoiding raising any public comments on an issue that has been going on. I've had since I think Wednesday evening till even yesterday, I've had very close family and friends who have been extremely worried because the news out there is that I've been sued for, is it 10 million?
Oh, for
I think
you're also
pardon, comments made on this platform. And I mean, with the job that we do, some of these things come up. But when there's a deliberate attempt to malign someone, I even wouldn't be happy about. And being on this set for over the years, speaking for my party passionately, I mean, anybody who is objective knows that I don't come out to malign people. And that is not the nature of the New Patriotic Party that I belong to. So even before I go into what I want to say, just indulge me to read a story from Class FM online. And I'm reading it from the other portals that published it. But I'm reading it from Class FM online for obvious reasons. We all know who the owner of Class FM is. And this has nothing to do with the owner of Class FM. Let me clarify that because before I have another suit on my head.
But you're contradicting yourself.
So this is 14.
All know the owner
no,
of
that's what I'm saying. So when I finish reading it,
but this has
no, that's what I'm saying. It has nothing to do with it, but for obvious reasons. When there's something about the MPP, I believe that when Netu or Man FM or Moon to me or any radio station or TV station deemed to be affiliated to the MPP, you follow it hook, line, and sinker.
Due to ownership.
Due to ownership,
okay.
Right? And what they stand for.
Okay.
You are tempted to swallow it hook, line, and sinker. So let me read this, and I'm reading from the story is still online, and
but some media houses can be owned by a political.
It doesn't matter. I'm just saying that let me just because they went into details too, probably because of their.
Okay, that's a better reading.
And the date on it is Monday, 14th April. So the story is still online. Anybody watching us who wants to today, it's still on. You can go Class FM online. NIB bus 150 million cocaine on Takoradi Cape Coast Highway. That's the caption. And it was published on March 5th, 2025. So I read. A vehicle loaded with about 120 slabs of cocaine with a street value of $150 million has been seized by the National Intelligence Bureau. Information gathered reveals. Sources indicate that on 4th March 2025, at about 4:30 p.m., 16:30 hours, a hog van truck carrying about 120 slabs of cocaine with a street value of about $150 million was arrested by the National Intelligence Bureau, formerly Bureau of National Investigations, BNI, on the Takoradi Cape Coast Highway. The driver in charge of the hog van truck upon interrogation mentioned one Charles Hagan, also known as Panya, a former NDC parliamentary candidate for 2nd D in the 2020 elections as the owner of the products. Subsequently, Hagan was picked up by the Bureau but has been allegedly left off the hook due to his political inclination to the National Democratic Congress, NDC. Attempts are being made by the top echelon and apparatchiks of NDC to sweep it under the carpet. Sources further reveal that Charles Kipo, the NIB director, has been in constant communication with the presidency to halt investigations and free the suspects. So based on this publication, and Annie, for the current MP of 2nd D to be worried that a statement has been made with regards to drugs that is linked to him, to be worried, that should tell you that we are all worried about drugs and having the country being seen as a hub for drugs, vis-a-vis all the issues that Reverend Intim Fojo has raised. So on Monday, in the heat of the argument,
the country is not being seen as a hub for drugs.
Well, from the discussions that has been going on.
That's just a discussion. That's not
so that, I mean, from the discussions that's going on, that's
yes,
what
but
I
it's
said.
a discussion, it's not a fact, because it has not been established
yet. Can you just let me
Yes, so let's not even get into
So
that
in the
argument.
discussion, instead of mentioning, and I didn't mention a name, I said parliamentary candidate of 2nd D. But in the heat of the argument, which happens to all of us, instead of saying 2020, I said 2024. And I must put this on record that by my upbringing, by my training and what I believe in and stand for, I'm not above retracting and apologizing for a mistake I genuinely made.
Oh, you're not above admission?
I'm not above that, Annie.
Okay.
No human is.
I just remembered
we are all humans. We are fallible. I didn't set out to come and sit on this set and come and malign anybody. I wouldn't be happy if it's done to me. But just to say that because this is not a pleasant thing and we all don't want to be associated with it, I retract the bit about the 2024. I didn't mention a name as a parliamentary candidate. In mentioning 2020, I said 2024. So on that note, this is not to stifle the rights of the honorable MP who are, and I've asked you, I haven't seen a summons, I haven't been served with anything. Probably, maybe now that I'm here, it will make its way to me. But this is not to stifle his rights.
If Ignite Media has been served?
Yes.
Not yet.
Yes. So I haven't been served either, but there's a lot of news that has really worried people who know what I believe in and stand for, who appreciate me and love me dearly. It's been one call after the other. It's been one message after the other. For those who think that, oh, this is an opportunity to make an example out of me, that is not my nature. So I apologize. I retract that bit about 2024, and I apologize to the MP. But like I said, this is not to influence any decision he decides to take going forward. But as a responsible citizen who is passionate, Annie, if you happen to go to where I come from, some of us do these things because we are passionate about the development in this country. We've been privileged, but where we come from, still battling with basic problems, and that is where some of us.
For the record, the story was published which date?
It was published on the 5th of March.
5th
of March, yes.
That
was way after I came here.
Okay, so
we discussed it on the 7th of April.
Okay,
so most of the stories in relation to this were published on 5th March. You can do a search and you see them. I think I've seen something similar, but not detailed as this on, I think, my Joy Online, Crusading Guide. There are a few other portals that have published stories in relation to this. And it's around the same 5th March or a day or two later. So like I said, I apologize to him, and I think I've done my duty.
Right. I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful that you have even been able to bring yourself to that level. And also, you know, on the back of that, without necessarily belaboring the point, I would say that Ignite Media also apologizes for that platform that is offered. I mean, if you watch the show, there was a bit of back and forth between you and I. And so...
No, between you and... It was 2 against 1 as always. Between you and I and Shamima.
No. In terms of that claim.
What claim?
The claim of the MP.
Oh, okay. Oh, I expressed my sense. When I was asking you if you received a summon, because I can't go saying anything publicly.
Okay.
And so, I have people that sent me those. So you were the first person who sent me the Asase online story. Yeah. And you know, usually when these things are published, the reef is in it and all that. Asase, then I think he granted an interview on. Then I saw a story that he was vowing. I saw another story that he was threatening. So it was all over the place. That's why I kept asking you if you've been served. Because if I'm going to speak to a lawyer, obviously you can't go.
You need to know what the suit contains. Yes. Anyway, so on that note, we also apologize using the Ignite Media platform. There's no malice intended, you know, to run the MP down. As I sit here, it will shock a lot of you that I have never spoken with that MP before. A lot of you, you know, have very funny ideas. Even Lawuratu has some funny ideas. You know, never spoken with the MP before. But we want to openly. I shouldn't go there
because your responses to it were pointing to all kinds of directions. But let's leave it there.
Oh,
we've done what every responsible citizen will do, and every responsible institution will do.
Okay.
So let's see what
So apologies to the Member of Parliament for secondly. Really, no malice intended.